The other part I wanted to talk about, see, I got the boring subjects, taxes and budgeting. Taxes. If you leave here tonight with one thing about taxes, what I want you to leave with is that you need to care about your own taxes. As I mentioned at the beginning of the class, I haven't met the wives of the majority of my clients. And several of my clients' wives, the first time I meet them is when they call me to tell me they need a copy of the last 5 years' returns because they're getting divorced and they've never even seen the return. Please, please, please care about your own tax return. The reason why, your signature, okay? In the days of e-filing, you can sign one page without looking at the entire return, but your signature indicates that you accept responsibility for that tax return. There is something that's called innocent spouse relief that I have down here at the bottom. And in order to qualify for innocent spouse relief, it's that you should have had actual knowledge or you had reason to know. So if you tell the IRS agent, well, I just signed it without looking at it, they're not going to grant you innocent spouse relief. So if you're signing a tax return, you need to look at the numbers and make sure they make sense to you. I had a situation where a lady that I live near came in. She'd been married for about 20 years, and suddenly the marriage was over. And suddenly the IRS is on her doorstep. He's taken out bankruptcy, and he's not filed tax returns for 17 years. And she said, well, I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did. And there's no copies of these tax returns anyway. And we went and we tried to get innocent spouse relief, and we just were not able to because the IRS said she should have known that a tax return was due every year, and she should have been signing that return and keeping a copy of that return. So please keep track of those returns, sign your returns. Again, even if you're single and you're using a CPA, don't just come into our office and sign it without looking at it. Look at it, make sure it makes sense, make sure the numbers work for you. Because although I'm signing your return, you're also signing your return, and you're taking equal responsibility on your tax return. So I just wanted to show you a couple things. This is a 1040. Everybody is required to file some form of a 1040. The beginning part up here is all of the information about your name, your spouse's name, if you're single, married, filing joint, your children. So check this, make sure it's all correct. This is right below that information. This is the part to spend most of your time on. This is your income. Right here is where you would expect to see your W-2s. Below you're going to see your interest, dividends, if you have business income, if you guys have IRAs, pensions. This is the income section. And that's the part it's important for you to take the time to understand. The last part, this is the second page of the 1040, is the payment section. So right up here, line 63, it's not working. That's where the total tax is going to be. That's how much you owe in tax. The payments then subtract off of that tax. And at the end, it will tell you if you're getting a refund or if you still owe money. A lot of times people jump right to that refund number and they don't look at the rest of the return, right? And then this down here is where you're going to sign. So make sure you're looking at that return. I obviously could spend hours going through returns. I just want to make sure you have seen one and know what that looks like and what you should be paying attention to.